What is up, my dudes? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Today I have my Week 15 sleeper show, guys. And all these sleepers are going to be below 65% rostered, the best place to play fantasy football on Sleeper. 65% rostered on Sleeper. Enter promo code DUDES100, really help us out. I am going to go game by game and give you at least one sleeper per game, guys. At least one. I will also have my favorite Christmas treats that get slept on. Maybe you're looking for something for to put in someone's stocking. Maybe you're looking for something to leave Santa. I'm not sure. I got the biggest sleeper treats. Maybe something just for that office Christmas party that you can just take it to the next level. Maybe like, hey, I haven't had these in a long time. Thanks, man, you're a pal. Then you say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be rude right now. Listen to the dudes. Those guys know what they're talking about, and they're a good laugh. If you're here, there's 3 reasons you're here. There's 2 reasons you're here. Cooper Kupp messed you up on Thursday Night Football, or Juwan Jennings, or you're just looking for someone to blame. Both reasons are good enough for me. Let's get after it. Good luck this week, guys. And here are my sleepers game by game. I'm going to jump into the Cowboys at Panthers. I'm going with Xavier Legette, the raccoon eater. He eats raccoons. He also almost had a touchdown last week versus the Eagles. I think this is a good bounce back spot for Legette. Bryce Young's playing better each week. It's a good spot against the Cowboys defense that is not good against anyone, unfortunately, and that really hurts to say. Dolphins at Texans. I have Dalton Schultz. High risk, high reward here. You're hoping he catches a touchdown. Not a lot of guys in this game below 65% roster that I would want to play besides Dalton Schultz. Maybe you're feeling, real risky. You want to take like a John Mechie type play. Not for me. Chiefs at Browns. I'm going with Elijah Moore. Had a really good game against the Broncos 2 weeks ago. Maybe the Browns can push the Chiefs a little bit. Maybe the Chiefs score a lot and the Browns have to throw. The Browns are not going to be able to run in this game. I like Elijah Moore as that, second option. And also Njoku potentially not playing. So monitor that situation. Maybe the backup tight end there as well. But I like Elijah Moore here as, I think he's a good sleeper this week. I really like Elijah Moore. Throwing it over to the first quarterback I got here on the list. Plug your ears, plug your nose. It's a gross one. Aaron Rodgers playing the Jaguars, who have played decently tough the last 2 weeks. But Rodgers actually had a good game last week. So if you're feeling like you really, really need something big, maybe Rodgers just goes out there and says, hey, I'm going out with a boom, guys. I want to throw. We're going to go all out. Breece Hall's banged up. It's unlikely. Maybe he just, gets a lot of action with Devontae Adams this game. This is a desperate, desperate Hail Mary. Absolutely, guys. Commanders at Saints. I got Commanders defense. Got Jake Haener playing. Maybe, you get some, a lot of turnovers, maybe some sacks. Jake Haener's first career start. You need something crazy here if you got to get an upset, guys. Also, Juwan Johnson. Jake Haener throws to the tight end maybe a lot being his first start. Looks at that, second option, third option. Looks for a safety blanket underneath. Don't dislike Juwan Johnson either. And it's hard for me to pick on Jake Haener because I'm a Fresno State fan, and I like Jake Haener at Fresno State. Next game here, Ravens at Giants. Wan'Dale Robinson. I know, the Giants quarterbacks do not throw touchdowns, but this is a decent PPR play, guys. Here looking at Wan'Dale Robinson, last week he had, where are we at here? He had 11 targets in week 14 versus the Saints. 11 targets. That's a lot, guys. He's got to, and this Ravens defense is terrible, okay, against wide receivers and quarterbacks. I know I don't like the quarterback, but 11 targets, that's got to be worth something, guys. If you're in a deep, deep bind, don't dislike Wan'Dale Robinson here. All right, 7th game on the schedule, Bengals at Titans. Like that old trusty pair of jeans that you just know are always going to be there. Maybe they're not quite fancy enough for a wedding, but they're good enough for church, right? I'm going with Will Levis. Didn't have a great game last week. He does have a good playoff schedule, though, like I've been saying. And what are we looking at here? Versus Washington, he got 16 fantasy points. Versus Houston, he had 17 fantasy points. Only 7 versus Jacksonville, I know. Very bad. But we're going with the Bengals here. He was a full participant in practice, guys. Versus the Bengals, they score a lot of points. And then other sleeper, Westbrook-Akeen, guys, just keep going with it. I like Will Levis here. Hopefully he gets Calvin Ridley involved as well. There's worse options out there than Will Levis. This is risky, though. Like I said, throwing it over to another quarterback at the Patriots at Cardinals, Drake May. I said this on our matchups pod, guys, which I'll put that right here. I think Drake May is the best quarterback in this class, guys. He looks really good, and he has no weapons at all. So I'm going with Drake May here. His last couple games, he had 20 fantasy points versus the Colts, 14 versus Miami. Miami's tough against quarterbacks, guys. 18 versus the Rams. His last 3 starts have been very solid. Coming off the bye, playing Arizona, who just got torched on the ground by Charbonnet. Drake May's efficient, and he's going to get any of his wide receivers, if you want to throw them in as a sleeper as well, you can do that. Hunter Henry is my favorite other guy on that team that you want to play as a sleeper. He's at the tight end position, as you know. Drake May, I like him, guys. I think he's a good spot here. And, who are we talking about that you might bench at quarterback? Maybe you don't feel comfortable with C.J. Stroud. If you played Brock Purdy, you probably wish you would have played Drake May. So there's stuff where, just sometimes stuff just doesn't, or Matt Stafford even, So I don't dislike Drake May here. I think he's a solid 15-point floor, guys. And he runs too. Good athlete. Like Drake May a lot. All right. Colts at Broncos. Running back play here, guys. Jaleel McLaughlin. 16% roster on Sleeper. He got 36% of the snaps last time we saw him, but he had 14 carries, and that is key. He only had 8 fantasy points, but 14 carries. I will take that. Maybe you didn't start Isaac Guerrero because you got nervous. Maybe you got wet feet when you saw, you just were nervous. I like Jaleel McLaughlin, guys. I don't like him. I think the volume could potentially be there against a very bad Colts team. Maybe they want to get him going, get him ready for playoffs. Jaleel McLaughlin, do not think it's a bad play here, guys, in a league that's deep that you need some help at. That was Colts. Broncos, Bills at Lions. Another rough one here. You can go to, so I got Ty Johnson. You're not running on this Lions defense, guys. They're really good against the run. We saw what happened to James Cook last week. They didn't need to use him. Josh Allen took over. Josh Allen played hero ball. But with that being said, I'm going to the receiving back. Last week versus the Lions, Ty Johnson caught 2 passes. He did break a big one for 55 yards. And it was for, so 2 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Ty Johnson, maybe he gets a little bit more where he's a pass-catching back. I do not love this play. Another guy you could go at in this game is Lions wide receiver Tim Patrick. I don't like that either. That's like he just came off, the 2 TD game. It's not really for me, but that's just like if you don't like this one. I got to find somebody. I'm trying to find him under 65% roster. Guys, give me a break here. Steelers at Eagles. We got the Pennsylvania battle in the city of brotherly love. Pat Freiermuth. No George Pickens. Russ will be looking down to Pat Freiermuth. Going to be an ugly game. I think a lot of running. So I like Pat Freiermuth is a nice sleeper play in this game. He is right now tight end 11. He's only 57% rostered. Coming off, back-to-back games of at least 12 fantasy points and back-to-back games with a touchdown. Can we go for the third? Can we get the hat trick here? Pat Freiermuth with no George Pickens. Really like that one, guys. Bucks at Chargers. Bucky Irving. Maybe he plays. Maybe he doesn't play. Maybe he says he's going to play, plays a snap, his back acts up. It's very possible. Life alert ad type deal. You know what I'm saying? Sean Tucker. Bad matchup for running backs versus the Chargers, but Sean Tucker should get some volume. Therefore, I do not hate the play. Only if I know for sure Bucky Irving is not playing. If Bucky suits up, don't like it as much. Throw it over to someone else on this game. Jalen McMillan. Coming off a 2 TD game. All these plays are pretty risky sleepers, but I'm giving you a sleeper for each and every game, guys. Packers at Seahawks. Jaden Reed coming off in a goose egg game. Last week's Cooper Kupp. Basically, you know what I'm saying? I'm going with Christian Watson. I've seen enough of Dontavian Wicks. I've stuck my neck out for him too long. The wick has gone short, I guess. It's gone. The wick's gone. You could say that. Any other bad puns, let me know in the comments, guys, and give me a like, give me a sub. Christian Watson, I think, the deep threat. He had a good game last time we saw him. I like Watson here as a sleeper in this game. And Bears at Vikings. Last time these guys played, Caleb Williams had 29 fantasy points going back in the fire with Caleb Williams at the Vikings. The secondary is not very good. DJ Moore, and this is like super flex type sleeper, guys. Like this is not like a redraft one exactly, but I think Caleb Williams can bounce back here, play a little bit better than what he did versus the 49ers. Falcons at Raiders. Sincere McCormick. Everyone's talking about him. This year's Zamir White maybe has a good game, gives you that playoff push. I like Sincere McCormick. Also, Desmond Ridder is playing quarterback for the Raiders. I am not saying him as a sleeper. I refuse to do that. Falcons defense? Maybe. What do we think, guys? What do we think? So I got you 2 defenses there. That is every single week 15 matchup, guys. I gave you a sleeper from each one. So let me know what you think about that. Should I keep doing it like this? Would you rather me do it by position with bookmarks, stuff like that? I really enjoy doing these, guys. Give me that thumbs up, but we're not done. I got my 3 sleepers, Christmas treats. Sleepers, guys. And I'm not going with gross stuff like gingerbread men and fruit cakes. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to go first here, guys, with my Christmas treat. I'm going with popcorn tins. Everybody likes a good popcorn tin for Christmas. You bring this to a Christmas party, you will leave a hero, and maybe people will just be like, it's kind of underrated, but you got caramel, you got cheddar, and you got butter. That's equivalent to drafting Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, and Derrick Henry on the same fantasy team, and I know there's teams out there that did that. That's what this is equivalent to, in my opinion. And I'm saying that because those guys were guys that, like, you could have got Josh Allen in the second round. You maybe could have got Barkley. You probably had to take Barkley in the second round. You could get Allen in the third and Henry in the fourth. Maybe. That was a stretch there. Sorry for that trio there. But it's at least 2 of them, So going with that. Popcorn tins, you like them. They're classic. You can reuse the tin for something else. I don't know. At the very least, give it to your nephew to play with at their house as a drum set. You know what I'm saying? Your sister-in-law or brother, they can never have enough drum sets for their kids. I can promise you that. Don't get any drumsticks for my kids, but they're great at other people's house. I promise you that. All right, number 2 on the list. I got just the good old-fashioned candy cane. And you're saying, like, I get those for free at the store. I get those when I donate to Salvation Army. They're just not that good. No. That first candy cane of the season hits just a little different. It's like, it's Christmas. It's like when you get to the draft, you see the wings, you see your buddies, you're like, yeah, football season's here, guys. That's what that first draft signifies, that football season's here. That's what the candy cane is to the Christmas season. It's telling you, it's time. It's time. It's go time, It's like, I should buy my wife a Christmas gift now. But if you're like me, you're waiting until December 24th and going to the mall with all the other dads, right? And husbands. All right, last on the list, any kind of candy type coal. Versatile, you can put it in someone's stocking that, saying like, that you really don't like, but you don't dislike enough to, get some actual coal. Candy type coal, I think that's a sleeper. I also got anything marshmallow. Anything marshmallow, I think, is a sleeper. If you're a marshmallow guy like me, maybe you can tell I'm a marshmallow guy. I don't know. But those are my 3 sleepers right there. Christmas treat sleepers, popcorn tins, candy cane, coal / marshmallow type candy. You can get, coal filled with marshmallow type of a treat. So that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So guys, let me know what you thought about this. I like doing the sleeper episodes, and sometimes they feel gross, like that one aunt you really don't want to talk to, but she does come through with good gifts every once in a while. So you gotta keep them close. You know what I'm saying? So like the sleeper ads. Let me know what you guys think. Good luck this week, on the playoffs. And we will see you next week. I'll see you on Monday with the Waiver Wire Show. And as always, guys, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.